And then you come here and you don't have to act like a hood. I'm going back to the hood thing. You don't need that stuff. All right? You come here and you act like a gentleman. Okay? You know, you take a woman out to dinner. You treat, one thing about Brazilian women is that it doesn't take much. You take them out to dinner, right? You treat them with high class. See, down here is the machismo attitude as far as the men. I mean, I've seen dudes come from the hip, smack the shit out their women right there. You know, at all. These women, they've gone through some, you know, abusive relationships and stuff like that. But these women are not like the Matrix women, okay? You come down here, you treat them right, you know, treat them with kindness, treat them like a gentleman, and you will get far with that. Okay, the women down here, I said it before, it's 26-1 for an American. Okay, especially when you get the language. The language, I think, when you get the language down, I think your numbers blow up even more. Okay, all right, but when you get that down and you come down here with a positive attitude, you come down here not with, okay, she might say no to you, okay, she's just like the Matrix women at home and da-da-da-da, you know. No. The one thing about it is, yeah, she may not like you for whatever reason. Okay, she may like a certain type of guy and you may not fit that bill. But the beautiful part about Brazil is that there's so many other women that will like you. So she may reject you for whatever reason. You may be too short, you may be too tall, you may be too big, you may be too fat, this and that. All right? But there are other women out here who will like you for what you are. And you don't have to play no role like we do back in the Matrix. Okay? Just come down here as you are. One other thing, the most important thing, hygiene. Okay? You smell good, you wash up, you cologne. They love women, they love men who wear cologne. All right, I mean, I get so much play with my polo or my cool water, you know, and when you make it, you know, come down there and make yourself look good, some nice outfits, doesn't, you know, you don't have to be completely dressed down. I seen one guy who you put a post up on Facebook looking like Mr. T with all this gold on. All that stuff isn't necessary. No.
Exactly.
A nice polo shirt, all right, some good cologne, you're well shaven, you know, your hygiene down and everything like that. In other words, she don't smell you coming, okay? All right, at least don't smell you coming in the wrong way. Then you can get a lot of play. All right, and everything like that.
All right, and now the other question that people ask in November, as far as the beach party, what are your expectations for the beach party? And when you first created the beach party, what was the purpose of the beach party?
Well, the purpose of the beach party in the beginning, all right, of course, Mr. John, and you know, he's my partner with these and all that stuff, is to show brothers, you know, what life, the average brother from the United States is like at a beach party, at a setting where we're mixing with the Brazilian women and everything like that. And then the most important thing, the brotherly camaraderie that we don't get back in the U.S. All right? Brothers don't look out for each other in the U.S. like we look out for each other down here. And that's what I noticed when I first came down here, that we look out for each other a whole lot better. So I wanted to create a network of brothers from all over the country, all right, east to west, north to south, all right, you know, that, you know, we can get together every November. We hope to do it more than just November, all right, and we could build business relationships, friendships, okay, and all that stuff, all right, and then also guys coming down here, and who's to say? I remember a guy who came down here for my beach party in 2014. By 2015, he came down for my next beach party in 2015, and he met his future wife. And they've been married. They got married earlier this year, as a matter of fact. And, you know, I'm creating chances. I'm creating reasons to come down here. The beach party is one of them. To where the guys, well, man, I'm coming down here by myself. No, you won't be by yourself. Okay, it's going to be a crew of dudes right here and everything like that that you know from the Facebook group. You get to finally meet them in person and everything like that and all. But in the process of all that happening, you just might meet your Mrs. Right. Okay? And the beach party is an excuse to get you down here to see what it's like down here. Okay? Camaraderie, a chance to see a beautiful city, and then maybe somewhere down the line, you might meet a woman that might change your life. And it isn't going to be a Matrix chick, an AAW or anything like that. All right? That could bring you down the aisle. I'm a man that believes in marriage. Okay? You know, and because like I said, I had a father. He was married to my mother. All right? Didn't work out. Moved on. He married another woman. All right? He's, as far as I'm concerned, both my mother and his current wife is the reason why he's still around now.
Exactly.
You know?
What advice would you give brothers that are dealing with, you know, that are in a bad relationship in the States, where that they don't know how to get out of the situation, and they might have an idea in mind where they want to come down to Brazil or any other destination? What advice would you give them if they say that they feel like doing something crazy or so? What advice would you give them if they're going through a huge depression because of their relationship?
Take a chance and do it. Travel. Come on down here. See what life is like in Brazil or in Colombia, or even, I wouldn't feel shaky on the DR, all right, or over in Thailand or something like that. See what life is like before you, because like I said, the Matrix USA is not the world. All right, the women in the U.S. are not the only women in the world. See, that's where a lot of brothers make their mistakes at. All these dudes going out here, killing their women, you know, being thirsty, acting like a fool and all this other stuff. And they mess, you know, I mean, come on, it isn't worth it. Going to jail, punching abroad. You got Tommy Sotomayor running up there telling dudes to punch women and black women in the face. You know, let me tell you something. Black women in the world, you just came from Bahia, the blackest city outside of Africa.
Yes.
All right, and you saw probably I seen the women that you were with over there. Beautiful women. And they treat you way different. So when if shit's not working for you in the U.S., sometimes it's good, if you up there not hitting home runs in the U.S., sometimes it's good to change the ballpark.
Exactly. And I always say to myself, don't let other people influence your mindset where they tell you if you can't get any woman in the States, you're going to have a bad time overseas. That's not true. Maybe
it's not true.
Most of the time you have guys that they were married, they was in a relationship, it didn't work out.
Now, I will say this. There's some certain things about yourself that you also have to make sure.
Exactly. You have to have confidence. Confidence is the key. You have to have confidence in yourself. You have to develop that confidence. You know, how you develop that confidence? You start going to places, different places around the world. It doesn't have to be home, but just build your confidence little by little. You build that confidence.
I'll give you an example. There was a guy who was a buddy of mine, and he, not going to say his name, but he had going back to it, he had he not too tidy, okay? How can I say this? All right, it's not too tidy. You know, he had a hygiene issue. Mm-hmm. We smelled him coming. Good guy. All right, and he couldn't.